Ryzen from PyPower, and today we're going to be learning how to calculate the area of a square/rectangle. So over here, let's start with a square. A square has four sides, all with the same length. The formula to calculate the area of a square is area equals length times width. So let's use this square as an example. 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So our area formula is length, 4 centimeters, times width, 4 centimeters. So area equals 4 times 4. We all know 4 times 4 is 16. So now our area is 16 centimeters squared, because the inside is squared. Not just regular centimeters, it's centimeters squared. Because it's area, not a straight line. Now we're going to move on and do a rectangle. So a rectangle is the exact same formula as a square. Length times width. Except a rectangle has two sides that are the same. So this side would be side 1. And this, you could also put side 1, side 1. So that means they're the same length. And then side 2 and side 2. That is a rectangle because it has two sides that are the same and another two sides that are the same. So now we have length, which is the 5, and we have width, which is the 4. So now we do length, 5, times width, 4, gets us 20 centimeters because I use centimeters again here and here. And then we have to make sure we add that squared unit. So I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is going to have a bunch of example questions, which I'll go over at the end. Pause the video here if you want to try these example questions. Okay, so the answers are right here. You can either look them over or I'm going to go over them now. 2 of these are rectangles, 1 is a square. Let's start with this first rectangle. So we have 6 times 9, because it's still length, times width. So that is 9 times 6, which is 54 centimeters squared. So if you got 54 centimeters squared, give yourself a check. If you got 54, that is incorrect. So would 54 centimeters. Those are both closer, but they're not correct because you need to make sure you have centimeters squared. So I'm not going to do that for the next two, but remember, if you didn't put centimeters squared, it's incorrect. So next, let's do this one. 4 times 3. Length times width. So here I put in the formula backwards because it's the same. This, you could call this length, or you could call and this width, or you could call this width and this length. I prefer calling the longer side length, but I didn't do that on this one just so I could show. I'll erase all that. Okay, so let's go through the answers here. 4 times 3 is 12, so 12 centimeters squared. Length times width. They're both equal, so you just make sure you do 8 times 8. Or for squares, you could just write it as 8 squared, which is another way to write 8 times 8. I will do another video on exponents, so don't worry if you don't know that, and this is also incorrect. I forgot to change the answer. So do not think it is 20. It is 64 centimeters squared. Sorry about that one. If you got all of these right, give yourself a check. And I got this one wrong, actually, so I'm going to put an X there now. But I got it correct. I just forgot to type it. But there we go. So that's the area of a square and rectangle. If you want to learn about perimeter, check the link in the description below, and there'll be links to perimeter of a square/rectangle and area and perimeter of a triangle. See you in the next one. Peace.